Hello friends, today I am here to discuss something about verb. I have chosen verb because verb plays a very important part in a sentence. Without a verb you cannot have a sentence. We have to keep in mind what is the subject of the sentence. Is the subject singular? Then we have to use a singular verb. Is the subject of the sentence plural? Then we have to use a plural verb. But is it so easy what I am saying, that you will look at a sentence and you will understand that you have to use a singular and a plural verb? No, my friend, it is not always the case. So I have come to give you some of the tips or the rules which you have to keep in mind while you are using the verb and it agrees with the subject or not. For example, in a sentence, we are using a sentence like this: Henry likes Tom. See, Henry is a third person, singular. So what I am doing, I am adding to the verb s. The verb here is like, so I am adding to the verb s. Take another sentence: Henry and Tom like to play chess. See, here in this sentence I am using two singular subjects. So, if any two singular subjects are joined by a conjunction and, we are using a plural verb. Next, when a sentence starts with one of and after that a plural noun follows, but we have to keep in mind that the verb which we should use is a singular. Let's take a sentence. Let us take a name which sounds very good. Peter. Peter is one of my best friend. Let us take another sentence. One of the students in our class was praised by the teacher. See, we are using a noun students, but we are starting the sentence with the phrase one of. So remember, if you are using a plural noun, but we are using at the beginning of the sentence one, then we have to use a singular verb. When a sentence has two singular subjects and is joined by a conjunction and, I have already said we have to use a plural verb. But when two or more represents a compound noun or a compound idea, then what we have to use a singular verb. Like slow and steady wins the race. Here slow and steady is a compound idea. So after that we are using a singular verb, that is wins. I am adding s to the verb win. When a subject of the sentence is started with the introductory there, after that we have to follow the real subject. For example, there are 6 teachers in our department. Here, though the sentence starts with introductory there, here the subject is all about teachers. So there are more than one. So I am using a plural verb. A lot of and plenty of. If you find in a sentence a lot of and plenty of, remember to use the verb if a lot of and plenty of is denoting a number, a numerical figure, then try to use a plural verb. If it is denoting or expressing something about quantity or amount, then try to use a singular verb. Let's see the following sentence. There are a lot of hill stations in our country. There is plenty of water in the well. Come on, let's go to the next rule. If in a sentence we find the word both, remember both always takes a plural verb. Both the boys were punished for their actions. A singular connective noun like a troop of soldiers, a fleet of ships, a team of players always takes a singular verb. Let us take this sentence. A troop of soldiers is marching through the streets. A fleet of ships was attacked by the pirates. Here we have used the singular verb is and was. A dozen you may find often in a sentence. A dozen always indicates 12 or 12th number. So try to use a plural verb. Let us take a sentence. There are a dozen shoes in the cupboard. Okay, next, you may find in a sentence a pair of used after words like a pair of scissors, a pair of spectacles, a pair of shoes, a pair of trousers. Now, if in a sentence we find this word, a pair of, this phrase, try to use a singular verb. A pair of scissors is lying on the table. But if we omit a pair of and we only use the plural word like scissors, spectacles, then we should use a plural verb. The scissors are in the drawer. My spectacles are giving me a problem. Class names such as clothing, footwear, furniture, stationery, cutlery, all these words always takes a singular verb. Like the furniture here is of the best quality. The stationery sold in this shop is very cheap. News is a word which we often hear. Remember, news is never considered plural. News is always considered singular. So when we are using the word news, we have to use a singular verb. The news is that the president will visit our school next week. Names of certain diseases and branch of science or knowledge are always considered singular, and so we have to use a singular verb. Let us take this following sentence. Mathematics is my favorite subject. Economics is an interesting subject. Mumps is a painful disease. So after name of subjects or a disease, we are using a singular verb. Some of and half of. These are the two phrases which you may often find in a sentence. Some of and half of, if it is denoting a number, then remember to use a plural verb. But if some of and half of is referring to something quantity or amount, then try to use a singular verb. Let us take the following examples. Some of the boys are dishonest. Many of the children have passed the test. Half of 26 is 13. Half of the books were sold. Many refers to a number and much refers to a quantity. So if in a sentence, if you find the word many, remember to use a plural verb, and if you are coming across much, then try to use a singular verb. Let us take these two sentences. Many of the apples were rotten. Much of the truth was not told. You will find words like people, poultry, repairs, clergy. These are always used in the plural. Let us take this following sentence. The people of our town are very educated. The cattle were grazing in the field. When a plural noun applies to distance, weights, heights, or amount of money, it is taken as a whole and is considered as a single item. So it is always a verb is used singular. Let us take these following sentences. 1,000 miles is a long distance. 2 kilograms of sugar costs 40 rupees. See, 2 kilograms. The subject is 2 kilograms, but we are considering here it as a 1 unit. So we have added s to the verb cost. And the above sentence you will find, even it is 1,000 miles, we are using the singular verb is, because we are considering here 1,000 miles as a single unit. Finally, if in a sentence, if you come across either, neither, everyone, someone, somebody, then try to use a singular verb. Let us take the following sentences. Either Sarah or her brother has won the prize. Many a man has failed because of laziness. Everyone is equal in the eyes of God. Each of the boys has worked well. Neither of them comes on time. Somebody has stolen my aunt's purse. Nobody is to be blamed. If you look at these following sentences, you will find the sentences all started with either, many a, everyone, neither, each, somebody or someone. So keep in mind, if you are using this at the beginning of the sentence, or if a sentence starts with all these words, then you have to keep in mind that the verb which we should use should be singular. I hope in this short video I have been able to convey what I have stressed in the very beginning, that verb is a very important part of grammar. Verb will tell what subject should I use. If the subject I am using is singular, I should always use a singular verb to convey the right meaning. I hope it serves your purpose. Thank you. Please visit my website for more about English, that is skillenglish.com.